Hey, welcome back to Gracie Schwarzwald. I'm here with Eric Mete, and we're going to open a complete Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Self-Defense Course. And we have worked our way through striking, and now we're working on defending strikes. Arguably the most important self-defense aspect you'll ever learn. And that's because most people, if they attack you, are going to try to hit you. So if you're training any martial art, but especially Jiu-Jitsu, and you're not training how to defend strikes, literally you're unprepared to deal with 99% of the planet out there, because that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to hit you with their fists, with something. So this should be not something, again, that you do once in a while, but something you should practice all the time. So again, people are going to use the various tools at hand, meaning fists, elbows, knees, headbutts, and then weapons, things like this in order to damage you. And again, most time, if you're looking at a self-defense standpoint, it's not necessarily going to be we're out here playing the game, playing these little games. It's going to be somebody trying to hit you as hard as they can. This is why sometimes people practice striking in kind of a technical aspect, and then they get in a fight and the person's just throwing as hard as they can. And what happens? They just end up kind of getting overwhelmed with punches. So that's one reason that Jiu-Jitsu focuses a lot on getting to the clinch right away, so that we don't have to kind of be in that storm of getting, trying to defend punches coming from everywhere. We get to a place where we can nullify the strikes. But learning some of the technical aspects of defending strikes makes you better at the ability to get to the clinch and understand how to be safe until you can get there. So we covered in a past video, if I throw a straight punch, we talked about he can deflect, he can avoid, he can cover. This was a cover situation where I'm throwing straight and he's going to bring his hands up, cover right here. Now, again, turn the camera, please. He's not making his hands out away from his body like this, and he's not making fists so that if I hit his arms, they hit him. He's making a tight wall, just a small enough frame that I can't get through with my fists. He doesn't want to close off where he has no vision, but he doesn't want to open the space up like this. Okay, now that's great. But if I come from the side, obviously, if he covers that way, I'm going to come in this. Now, this is where fighting for boxing, MMA, or self-defense can be a little bit different. In boxing, if he throws a hook like that, I can basically just cover with my glove. This. The problem is if I try to do that with a hand, that's not really going to help me. So we've got to do a different situation. Okay? He's going to have his hands up. And one hand is going to comb all the way back, and he's going to make a nice tight connection to the back of his head. And this is going to be a very small window now for me to get through. So again, he's not doing this and leaving a hole here for me to go through. Okay, so his hands are up. He's going to comb back. We're here. If I go this side, he comes back here. Now, turn a little bit this way, please. Notice that when he does this, and for whatever reason people do this, when you train, you have to be very aware of this. And if you're training with a partner, they have to be aware of this. He throws a, let's turn this way. He throws this hook, and I will see people, for whatever reason, drop this hand. My joke is, unless you have a weapon with you, that hand stays up. Do not be reaching into your pocket. So don't keep this hand down. This hand just stays up, and I can just go back and forth. This is one reason, have your hands down. Trying to get in a self-defense situation like this and covering, it's going to be a long journey. If his hands are already here, again, turn a little bit this way, not here. Your goal is not to protect your chest, it's to protect your head. Here, and I go this way, he's already there. That motion, go, is very, very small motion, very quick motion. So if I'm here and we're arguing, I throw a hook, he can be right there. I can cover, I can even come in kind of throwing a flurry, and you notice how he can keep protecting himself long enough until what? We can get to the clinch. So again, this could be paired with the other thing. I throw the straights, he can cover here. I throw the hooks, he can cover here. I throw the straights, here I throw the hooks. But notice how his hands never end up down here where he's having to do big motions. They're never going away from his body, trying to block things. There are times to do that, but as far as covering goes, this is what makes covering so effective, is there's very little motion that's needed, okay? He doesn't have to try to predict as much where my strikes will be. So that is our cover versus kind of hooks or angled hits to the head.